Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T, and if true crime is your jam, and like me, you enjoy delving into unsolved cases, trying to figure out who done it, please consider subscribing. Also, if you find value in my content, please hit that like button. As we continue to hope and pray for answers in the Summer Wells case, the precise timeline of events on June 15th, 2021, the day 5-year-old Summer disappeared, still remains a mystery. Summer's mother, Candus Bly, told Chris McDonough of the interview room that she dropped her mother, Candy Harr, off at the Holston Valley Medical Center at 8 a.m. that morning to have her artificial knee examined. This 8 o'clock hour came out of Candus's mouth. Should we believe it? Law enforcement, I would think by now, knows for certain when Candy Harr was at that medical center. But for us web sleuths who cannot get access to such information due to privacy laws, it remains an unverified time, an hour given to us by Candus. And sadly, by now, we've learned not to trust Candus Bly about anything. I do, however, believe that we can rely on the time of 12:34 p.m. as being when Candus posted the video of Summer swimming at the fishing hole. It likely took a few minutes to take the video, add special effects to it, and then post it. Let's give her maybe 10 minutes for that entire operation. So let's imagine that Candus worked on that video between 12:24 and 12:34 p.m. The next time that I believe we can now rely on is when Candus and Grandus were spotted picking up Grandus's prescription at the Walgreens on Fort Henry Drive. Chris McDonough has let it be known that Candus and her mother, Candy Harr, were seen at the Walgreens at 1:33 p.m. So as long as McDonough's information is accurate, that's a time I think we can rely on. Now, the drive from that Walgreens to the priceless grocery store on Fort Henry Drive should take about 7 minutes. And I believe that Chris McDonough also verified that Candus and Grandus were indeed at that priceless grocery store on the afternoon of June 15th. But I don't think that he shared the exact time when Candus and Grandus were spotted shopping there. So let's just say that Candus and company started driving to the priceless grocery store after they picked up the prescription at 1:33 p.m. It normally doesn't take that long to pick a prescription up, provided there's no line, but H said Walgreens was pretty busy that day. So let's guesstimate that by 1:50 p.m., Candus and Grandus had the prescription in hand and then drove to the priceless grocery store. If it takes 7 minutes to drive from that Walgreens to that priceless grocery store, then Candus and company would have arrived at priceless grocery store around 2 p.m. Now, you may also remember that Candus's ex-friend, Allie Harris, who is also H's mother, told Chris McDonough that Candus and company arrived at her house to drop H off at around 2:30 p.m. So if we work backwards from that 2:30 p.m. point in time, we can guesstimate that Candus and Grandus likely spent about 20 minutes in Priceless and then drove for about 10 minutes to get to Allie's house to drop H off at 2:30 p.m. So if this were the game The Price is Right, we'd have to say that Candus's estimate of 5 minutes for grocery shopping is looking more reasonable than what H told Chris McDonough. You may recall that H said that Candus and Grandus were in the grocery store for about an hour. H has likely gone way over the actual amount of time spent at the grocery store, and Candus is likely a little below the actual amount of time. I don't believe that Candus and Grandus could have spent an entire hour grocery shopping if they were captured at the Walgreens at 1:33 p.m. and if they then really arrived at Allie's house at 2:30 p.m. as she told Chris McDonough. Learning of that 1:33 p.m. sighting at Walgreens has also made me question the time at which Grandus was dropped off at the Holston Valley Medical Center that morning. If Candus really dropped Grandus off at 8 a.m., as she told Chris McDonough, and if we now believe, as I think most people paying attention to this case do, that Grandus was never at the swimming hole on June 15th, that would mean that Grandus was at the medical center for nearly 4 hours. Did Grandus really spend 4 hours at the medical center and then, after that long ordeal, happily head off with Candus to run errands and to grocery shop? I know a busy ER can have patients waiting for that amount of time, but a medical center when someone supposedly had an appointment at the very start of the day? I feel that we now have to question that 8 a.m. drop-off time. It's no longer making sense to me. I would love to know if Chris McDonough has been able to verify that 8 a.m. drop-off time. I did write to him and I asked, but I haven't heard back. What do you guys think? Do you believe the 8 a.m. appointment time? If so, how long do you think Grandus was at the medical center if she indeed did not accompany Candus, H, and Summer to the fishing hole? And what are your thoughts on the timeline, knowing now that Candus and Grandus were spotted at Walgreens picking up the prescription at 1:33 p.m.? Does my reasoning about the time spent at Priceless make sense to you? Do you agree with it? Let me know your thoughts. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories. Now, you know the drill. Please hit that like button, subscribe, share, and comment.